And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 59 of Checkpoint. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, joined today by the one and only Luigi. Checkpoint is your one and only best spot for the hottest gaming news every week. We give you the wrap-ups, the stories that you need to know about, and all that good stuff. Luigi, how you doing today?
Fantastic, bro. I'm
Good.
so happy to be back. Love doing Checkpoint. It's like
Dude, thanks for being here.
I literally love playing games, so it's just like I haven't had the time recently to play that much because I've been working a lot
Yeah,
more than I was before in the last couple of weeks. But I'm still finding some time,
good, dude. What have you been
which is
playing?
great. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So
Ooh, throwback.
yeah. I started it back up and then I was just like, yo, this game is actually so good. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to play it when I was younger, but then the nostalgia of just like doing these old missions, it didn't even bother me that the graphics are like a little
Yeah.
lower end, you know. It was just like the story is so immersive. So I was just playing that for a couple hours.
What are you playing it on?
Just my PS4.
Oh, nice, sweet.
They got a remaster. They had like a trilogy come out a couple years ago and I
Oh, the
bought
ported
that.
trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Cool.
love when PlayStation does that, where they bring in like the trilogies, like they did the Jack trilogy, and then they did the
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Like I think they did a Sly Cooper one when the PS3 was out, and like I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I wish they would bring back Sly Cooper because like I've been watching a lot of videos on that, and I never actually played those games when I was a kid on my PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
So I'm so shocked by it. I was like, how did I never find this franchise when I was younger? But I guess that's just how
See,
things go.
and this has been a big discussion these last couple weeks about game preservation and how Sony's doing a poor job of bringing back old games, whereas Xbox, I mean PC, those games are always there, but Xbox is really trying to bring these games back, and Sony's doing nothing. We see Sony like canceling the PS3 store. Remember, I think we talked about that a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago. But yeah, so that they've been under hot water for that. But hey, just like you said, it's nice to play those old games sometimes.
ab-
It's
absolutely.
sad to see them go away.
Well,
Um,
the weird part is, before I ask you what you've been gaming,
yeah,
let me throw this out there because I obviously still play Fortnite, right? Like I always
sure.
do.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: this new season, since the last time I was here and to now, I've probably played the least amount of Fortnite ever have in a season,
Really?
and
Okay.
it's not because I'm bad at the game or I just haven't had time to play. It's just that I'm no longer like as interested as I was in the game
Yeah.
because it's changed so much. Like the
Yeah.
introduction of these primal weapons kind of like made the game lower in quality for me, and I'm kind of sad
Okay.
about that because this is like my favorite game, and they changed it so much now that you're just like, "Oh, I have to grind so much now just to even have regular weapons in this game that I don't know if I want to go through that every time.
Right.
You know, I still win, but it's not the same. But anyways, that's just a little.
There's Luigi's tagline. I still win, but it's not the same anymore.
But anyways, man, what
I
have you
love
been
it.
gaming?
Dude, this last week I've been playing a lot of Valorant because the season's about to end, so I'm trying to rank up that
Grind.
battle pass. I got to grind to that top level, which I don't
Nice.
do in that game ever. So like this is the first season I'm really trying to do it.
Right.
And then I finished the story of Ghost of Tsushima after 50 hours. It took me 50 hours to beat that game. And I'm trying to go for
Wow.
the platinum trophy, which I was told is going to take me like 60 to 70 hours. So we'll see. I'm in that one for the long haul. I've been playing that for like a month and a half now. So it's
It's
been
great. It's
good.
crazy to me because of the fact that like you're more serious gamer. I would consider myself more flexible. Like as a gamer, like I don't
Mhm.
ever really go for platinum trophies. Like I love getting
Right.
trophies, but I never do the full like I'm going platinum. I'm gonna spend all
Right.
the hours because there's I remember when I used to do it, there was always a bunch of secret trophies, and it was like I
Mm-hmm.
would have to look online, like what
Yep.
is this trophy? What is it? Where do I find it?
Yeah.
And it would just take too much time. So, but
Yeah.
I could totally see
I think
doing it.
like from like I don't platinum all the games at all. I think I try to platinum the games that I really like to play, that I want to spend more time in, that I don't mind going back and being like, oh yeah, I'll do this extra step to try to get this trophy. Like that's fun to me if I'm still enjoying the game. If I'm not
Right.
enjoying it, it's a chore. And why would I play a game if it's a chore? You know what I mean? I'm playing it for fun.
Right.
So
Right.
it
Absolutely.
don't make sense. Well, here we are, Checkpoint episode 59. Audio listeners, thank you for listening. We appreciate you so much for watching us on YouTube. Please, if you comment, please let us know like about the stories if we missed anything this week also, and our discord's below also. You can ask questions to be on the podcast next week. We absolutely love to see it. Okay, here we are with the number one story. Twitch chat says, do we get a stream crash or is it just me? I think it's just you. Sorry
I
chat.
think
Okay,
I think it might just be you, bro. I'm
I
sorry.
think I think we're good. I think we're good. E3, Luigi, is back.
Okay.
E3 is back this year. This is huge. Okay, Last year, E3 was canceled, baby. It was canceled. They were like, we're not even doing a digital event. They just had nothing. It was replaced by Summer Games Fest. So here's what we got. This article comes from Polygon. E3 will return in 2021 as a reimagined all-virtual event. Organizers announced Tuesday E3 2021 will take place June 12th to June 15th, which is just 3 days instead of the usual like 5, I think it is. And will feature content from Nintendo, Xbox, Capcom, Konami, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Bros., and all this like the ESA. Game developers and publishers will showcase their games at E3 2021 directly to fans around the world, the ESA said. E3 2021 content will be free to access thanks to unannounced global media partners, which I would assume would be like Twitch and YouTube. Those are their partners. So like we can watch all their stuff like live as it's happening. That's my guess.
Yeah. Copy.
Here's the quote. We are evolving this year's E3 into a more inclusive event, but we still look to excite the fans with major reveals and insider opportunities that make this event the indispensable center stage for video game, said Stanley. What is this French name? Pierre Louis, President and CEO of the ESA. Well, this year's E3 will be virtual. Organizers say they are planning for an in-person E3 2021. So they're planning on going back in person next year, which is that's pretty cool. I hope. Yeah. But that's what they said about this year, so who knows? Last year, E3's cancel was due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, the ESA canceled E3 2020 last March, saying in a statement at the time, following increased and overwhelming concerns about COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. COVID canceled the event. It's very funny. I got a notification on my phone that it was like 1 year ago today. James and I were talking about E3 being canceled on the podcast. Like, isn't that hilarious? Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Here's another super important part. In the vacuum, game publishers, media outlets, and other groups held a series of smaller gaming events distributed throughout the summer and fall of 2020. Some of those events, like Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, are confirmed to return in 2021. Companies like Sony and Electronic Arts, which haven't officially exhibited at E3 in years and were not announced as part of this year's expo, will likely hold their own events untethered to E3. So,
okay.
Luigi, did you keep up on Summer Games Fest or any of this type of stuff last year?
Not last year, no.
Okay. So here's the deal. E3 is always like the chungus. It's the big gaming event. Everything is there. Last year or 2 years ago, Sony did not show up at E3. They're like, we're doing their own thing. So they're like, they were already set when 2020 happened. They're like, oh, we already have our own thing. No big deal. And we saw a couple other publishers pull out at E3 also. So E3 is just not as big as it was. So what Jeff Keighley did, who is the guy that runs the Game Awards, he put together all of these small companies' releases and stuff and put them into his show, which did huge numbers last year. And I'm sure it's going to do huge numbers this year. And I'm more excited for Summer Games Fest than I am with E3.
Absolutely. I mean, as you should. Personally, I think E3 started falling apart when they stopped making it a press-only event and started inviting fans. Like, the whole idea behind it was to get the press the insider look so that then the fans would get excited based on the articles that the press wrote. But then they were, they gave into that, oh, well, we'll let some fans do it. I think it was like 2017 was the first year they started letting people even arrive to E3 without having, IGN passes and all that stuff, working for an actual video game company. And I think after that, they kind of started falling apart because it was just like there was less people who were interested in showcasing their stuff there because it was less exclusive to just the press. Because having events solely for press are necessary because those people are going to be the ones that go back to their companies, write up the reviews, tell people about it. But, it's a little different when people are already sharing it on social media and people are, tweeting about it. So it's not, there's less like hype, I think, that can be established because only one person is like, let's say there's 100 people who are sitting in a room and you do something crazy. Those 100 people are probably going to tell all these other people about it. But if it's just a group of like 20 reporters and those 20 reporters are not going to go tweet about it right then and there, they're going to wait till their story comes out so they get hits on the article. And so I think that's what fails for them. Once they started inviting, and I love the idea of including fans to events.
Yeah.
But it felt more interesting to me when it was an exclusive event where it's like, hey, if you're in a video game industry, if you're in a company or you're a part of an outlet that covers video games, this is your event. This is an event solely for you. And I thought that type of exclusivity was more exciting to me than when it's just like, oh, you can just get a ticket, or even now that it's just like a virtual event. Like, I'm not even interested in this.
Really, at all?
No.
Okay. I mean, because here's the deal with E3, they've always live streamed the big, announcements. They live stream those big press conferences, but all the behind behind closed doors demo and stuff, that was only for press. Like talking to the people that made the game, that was only for press. But I think we also saw it like E3 in the last couple of years has leaked personal information of people that have signed up and booths and vendors and all that kind of stuff. Like
Mm,
not leaked, it got hacked or whatever. You know what I mean?
right,
So it's
right,
like
right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Still
Um,
sucks.
yeah, but there's been a lot of things that are just like companies are ready to do their own thing, and I think they can. Like they have the ability. They have
Yeah.
these huge platforms. Everybody's online anyway. So E3 is not even necessary, but it's sad that it's not necessary because I used to get super hype over some of these press conferences.
Right.
So
Well, the problem is, it's like we're getting into an age where indie gaming is so much bigger now that like I've been buying indie games on my PlayStation now because all the
yep,
regular big name games, I'm either I already have them or I'm just not interested in buying those right now. So I'm just like, let
sure,
me check out some of the indie games. That's why I was excited with PlayStation State of Play, because they actually gave us like a bunch of indie games that was like, oh, hey, go try a
yeah,
bunch of different styles of gaming. I talked about it last time, and I actually downloaded The Witness, and that game is super fun. You know,
yeah,
like
it's
I
beautiful.
yeah, beautiful game. I think that the puzzles, the story is really engaging, and you know, there's just some solid ones in there. I have to check out Subnautica because writers always telling me about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Astroneer too. I think that was one of the ones they gave us.
yeah.
But I want to move past E3 and talk about one of the biggest franchises that I personally love, which is Lego video games.
Let's go,
I
baby.
absolutely have been playing Lego video games ever since I was a kid. Before they had dialogue, people, before they
Yep.
have dialogue between their little Lego figures. I think that was
Mm-hmm.
Batman 1. Well, it was cool. Let me just go on a real quick side
Do
note
it.
here.
Do it. Let's
So
go.
the original Batman, Lego Batman game that came out was so cool because it actually got you were given a chance to play as the good guys, and then you can go into a secret room and then like play as all the villains, playing the same exact missions but just doing it from the villain's perspective. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. Like,
Yeah.
you gave me 30 missions that I can explore all this, you know,
Yeah.
Batman world, Gotham. And then like they never did that again. And I was just like, what was like what was the big risk with that at the beginning? Because then they started lowering the amount of levels you got in games, where it was only like 15 now or like
Yeah.
10. And then now they're saying that they're delaying the Skywalker saga. And I wonder if it's because of the fact that maybe they're still trying to figure out characters or the plot points or like specific, you know, lands that they're trying to create. I don't know what it is, but it says
Here's my
here.
guess though. It's a little that is like development stuff. Whereas
Okay.
I think this game is like almost done. I think they're just putting final touches on it and like all that kind of stuff. If it was like character stuff and like big decisions like that, like places you're going, then we'd have some huge problems if this baby's
Right.
just delayed a little bit. So what do we got?
It says here, sadly, this is not a joke. It's just been posted by TT Games a few days after the 1st of April, that the developer has made the tough decision to delay Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga again after the delay in the game last August until spring 2021. So it's not that long of a wait. It's just, I think they were saying it's probably going to be another 2 months, if anything. You know, it might be a little longer, but that's just kind of me speculating here.
Yeah.
Um, they now put out a message stating how it will be no longer be able to make this release window and will provide an update as soon as it can. And this is their quote. It says, all of us at TT Games are working hard to make Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga the biggest and best ever Lego game. I don't know if you can accomplish that when you've already had Lego Incredibles come out, but I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
the Lego Incredibles was
I didn't
trash.
even play it. But we're going to need more time to do it. We won't be able to make our intended spring release date, but we'll provide updated launch timing as soon as possible. So that's interesting. But not only did that game get delayed, Deathloop was delayed to September 20th. And
Today,
Deathloop was supposed to come out, right? That was supposed to come out like within the next month,
I
wasn't it?
believe May 4th or May 5th or something like that was the release
Right.
date.
That's crazy because I was actually looking forward to playing that game. Like, I
Yeah.
actually was interested. I kept watching the trailer,
Yeah.
but I'm like saddened by these two games because I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the Skywalker Saga. I have already so many Lego games that I haven't
Yeah.
finished. I just like them, but the Star Wars ones are a little bit like faded out for me. I used to play the first one. That was like the
Yeah.
first Lego game they came out with, right?
That's
Right?
right.
It was like the first Star
It was
Wars.
Lego. It was I believe it was the Complete Saga was the first one.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the complete saga, but the
Yeah.
complete saga was like
It was
after
1 through
they had.
6.
Right, right. But they came out with the first three, right? It was like the Phantom Menace, and then
Yeah,
like the
maybe was that
prequels.
separate? Maybe you're right.
I think it was the prequels first, and then they did the other originals, and then they put them all together. And then they had the standalone Ray and Finn ones that they came out with. And I
I didn't
think
yeah, I didn't play any of those.
I think this might be the full like 9
It
episodes.
is. It's 1 through 9.
Okay.
but it's all redone. Like it's completely redone. There's third person shooting in it, first person like driving and stuff, like all that in
Cool.
a Lego game. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm so stoked. This is my most hyped game of this year. Besides, like,
Wow.
because God of War's not coming out this year. If God of War is coming out this year, then it would be my most hype. But dude, I'm like bummed this is getting delayed. But again, take the time you need. I'm not surprised these games got delayed because of work from home. Imagine trying to build a game from home where everybody's remote. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. So I get it. I think we're gonna see way more games being delayed this year too. I mean, we got Gotham Knights delayed recently also. Like big. We're talking the biggest games. This
Dude,
first half of the year is going to be pretty dead with games.
did you hear about even the Suicide Squad game? You know, like Kill the
Yeah.
Justice League. Like they're
Yeah, yeah.
having major problems with that game apparently.
Really?
Like yeah, like they were like there was an article that came out like that I think last week that was talking about it, and I was reading that just the exact situation you just brought up, like working from home and being able
Yeah.
to like develop such a massive game like that is extremely difficult because you're sharing
Right.
code. That's basically what you're
Yeah.
doing. You're sharing code with people. And my buddy, who's he just moved to Utah, he's actually a coder, and I was
Mhm.
kind of like watching over his shoulder while he was like staying at my place,
Yeah.
and he was teaching me some all this crazy stuff about coding, and I was just like, there's specific codes per website, and like
Yeah.
it's all completely different. Like he got this new job and they literally had to like train him in just their code base, and
Right.
then it's like now you can go and fix the problems that we have. So I can only imagine designing a brand new game. Like you're basically
No.
designing fresh code and then putting it in there and going, okay, now let's see what it renders out. Is it Gotham or is it something
Right.
else, you know?
No, imagine you're an artist or whatever trying to send your designs to someone that's supposed to code these designs into reality. You know what I mean? And
Right.
you have to change something on the gun or the character because of plot point that happens 5 hours into the game. And then the
Right.
coder's like, "Okay, well, I've already coded these 3 hours. I'm going to have to recode this blah blah blah." I'm like, "Hell no. I can't imagine trying to do
Right.
that from home. You can't like walk over to the other person's office and present a plan on how to do it. You just send in an email like into the dark saying like, "Here's what we got to do." Like, oh my
Right.
god, that would stress me out so much. Forget it. Forget about it.
Seriously. I would be so stressed out. Like I think about what the current state is of creating video games and I'm just like, not for me. Like let me go to an office and like
Yeah,
just have an office where I'm just like, this is what I do. Then I can go home and just like leave that at work.
right. Oh,
Is that
dude, I think it'd be so much fun to work in a video game studio just for like one release, for like 7 years, work on a game. Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
7 years, he says, work on a game for
Dude, that
7
happens.
years.
Yeah, they work on them forever. It's gotta
No,
be
I
good.
know, but that's a long time. That's just
That's true.
crazy to think about.
But speaking of games, in
Okay.
Game Pass, okay, MLB The Show 21 is coming to Game Pass at launch. Xbox Game Pass, that is. Now, this
Oh,
is huge. Not only because it's coming to Game Pass, like, oh, great, another game's launching with Game Pass. That's great, good for Game Pass. But
right.
Microsoft has, this comes from IGN. Microsoft has confirmed that MLB The Show 21 will be arriving on Xbox Game Pass on its launch day of April 20th, 2021. So, real soon for both the Xbox Series X and S and the Xbox One. MLB The Show 21 also features cross-platform play and progress, meaning you'll be able to play across the platform and generation of your choice, and play with your friends no matter where they choose to play, which is awesome. MLB The Show was first released on PS2 in 2006 and has been exclusive to PlayStation platforms since then. Okay?
Wow.
While Xbox fans will be able to enjoy the game this year, there's still hope for Nintendo fans as the company retweeted the announcement that in 2019, the game will be going multi-platform, hinting we may see one on the Switch in the future. Here's what's the big deal. Thank you so much in chat for the 100 biddies. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Audio listeners, if you want to be part of the conversation and the fun, you can jump into Twitch when we record this show live on Thursdays. This is big. This is big. MLB The Show has been exclusive to PlayStation. It even has a PlayStation Studios logo on the box art now, and it hasn't been on Xbox in this entire time. So it's so odd that it's launching on Game Pass and it's still going to have that PlayStation Studios like logo as you boot it up on Xbox. That is so weird to me.
I personally, I'm not like a huge fan of sports games. I'm also not a huge fan of Major League Baseball right now after that whole pulling out of Georgia with their All-Star game. Just so dumb. Like because of all that. Someone said it to me the best way possible. They said, apparently you're doing this because you want to help the black community in Georgia. So you take away a $100 million tournament and then you pull it and take it to another state that's Colorado, where it's like the highest white population. So I'm just like, what were you thinking there, Major League Baseball? It's like you're trying to help the community by leaving and not giving the state money. Like I'm just so confused by that. It just, I'm telling you, I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't see the logic. I get you guys are trying to play politics here and trying to like side with the side that's gonna buy the games the most, and that's all you care about, the money. But like, don't pull these little tricks trying to act like you're a humanitarian because you're not. You're not.
Oh
But I'm
man.
excited about this. This sounds really cool. As far as getting the game like on release, that's pretty kind of dope. You know, like I think that's dope.
Yeah.
I think more games need to do that where it's kind of like the HBO Max theater thing, where it's like, hey, it drops on HBO Max and it drops on theaters
Right,
the
right.
same day. Like, let's do that with Game Pass. Let's do that with PlayStation Now. Um,
Here's another
I,
thing this is open speculation for too, Luigi, is that
okay,
um, this is the possibility of PlayStation games, more PlayStation games appearing on Xbox because a
okay.
PlayStation Studios now has some sort of deal with Game Pass to have their games on there. Do you think that this is going to happen,
Oh,
or will PlayStation? I mean, let's face it, it's in PlayStation's best money and business perspective to keep those games close to their chest. But
right.
imagine games that have been out for a while, like maybe a couple years on PlayStation, and then they're like, guess what? This game's coming to Xbox. Like that could be cool. Then you get a whole new audience who has never played your game before.
Right. Well, I would say Sony's not like, they're not what's the word that I'm looking for? Timid to go and like kind of, I don't want to say this next word, but like whore out their IP.
Sure, yeah.
Um because I mean they do it with Spider-Man. They're like, "Oh, Disney, we'll make a deal." You know, I
Right.
wouldn't be surprised if they go, "Xbox, you guys want to make a deal? We'll trade off games. You guys get ours, we get yours."
Hmm.
Xbox probably like, "You guys don't get ours." And then
Right. Yeah.
PlayStation's just like, "Okay, we'll make it work." Um yeah, Sony is one of those companies that I feel like is only cares about money. Like they could care less about sharing their stuff as long as there's a good licensing deal and the contracts have all been signed.
Yep.
They could care less. Like, yeah, use our games, whatever. We're making money either way.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because I mean, we're already getting Days Gone, Horizon, Death Stranding. Those are all on PC now too. Like those are or PlayStation exclusives on PC. So who knows? The way the world's changing, dude. The way of the world is changing.
I'm so excited. I haven't played Days Gone, but the fact that they're giving us for free this month, I'm like, I'm gonna finally check that game out. Like,
Yeah. And
it's
it's
kind
on
of.
PS5 with the upgrade and for free already on PS5. And I haven't played it yet. I
Have you
gotta
never
eventually.
played the game before? You've
Mm-mm.
never? Yeah, me neither. I'm excited because I watched my brother play like pretty much the whole thing, and it's heavy on missions, bro. Like, there's a
Yeah.
point where you have like 15 missions going at once. I was like, dude, this game's crazy.
Right.
A little bit like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where it's got like 25,000 quests going
It's
at
too
the same
big.
time, and yeah, it's overwhelming. And you're
Yeah.
just like, what am I gonna do first? Should I do the regular story or should I go explore? Like, but low key, I like that. I like that about a game. You know, like,
It's like Ghost of Tsushima right now. I'm so overwhelmed. There's so many side missions and like main missions. I'm like, what do I even do? Yeah.
which one do I do
I don't
first?
even know.
um, but moving on here, we have a game, PS5 game called Abandoned. Is not a secret Hideo Kojima game. So what is it? What is this about? Do you
All
know a
right,
little
here,
bit more
yeah, yeah.
about
Let
this?
me let me talk about this one. So Hideo
Yeah.
Kojima is the mastermind behind Metal Gear and all those games. Hideo
Mhm.
Kojima might be the most famous um, developer of all time. Like probably, he's the
Right.
legend, the game industry legend. Um, so yesterday we got a trailer for this game called Abandoned, and Abandoned was this like in the woods. It's a first person horror shooter kind of dealio. Very creepy, super like scary dealio. You're walking through, there's all these creepy noises. And the goal is like that in every opportunity you will be sweating or scared, or they had some like weird description of this. I don't know.
Oh.
It was a creepy trailer for sure. But people thought that this game was made by Hideo Kojima, which is weird because there was no Kojima logo or anything attached to it. But people on the internet are like speculating, oh, this is a Hideo game. It's just a secret. This is totally his style, all this stuff. But it's like, no, this is not a Hideo Kojima game. So Kojima Productions is making a new game, but it's not Abandoned for PS5.
Got
Earlier
it.
today, Sony revealed a trailer for Abandoned, which is a horror project from developer Blue Box. But that trailer and the developer's spotty history are just odd enough to cause some people to speculate that Abandoned is secretly the next game from Metal Gear Solid creator Hideo Kojima. This is not the case. Blue Box is dead. They've never released a game. They've never released a game ever.
Got
They
it.
don't even have a website. Okay. It has a game in early access on Steam that has stopped updating, and has another similar game that attempted to launch on Steam's like greenlighting program, which they have people buy it to see if it will actually release.
Right.
Dead there too. So they've never really launched a successful game. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
But
that's what it sounds like.
the biggest piece of evidence that I have is Abandon is not a Kojima joint. That is, Kojima is in talks with Microsoft about publishing its next game, and another Kojima is another developer that has not really published on Microsoft in the last couple of years. Like Death
Bro,
Stranding, Metal Gear Solid 5, those are all PlayStation games.
who is Microsoft not talking to, man? Like Microsoft is making these big moves this year, and I'm just like, I see Bill
Microsoft
Gates. I see Bill
Microsoft is
Gates.
winning right now. Okay, PS4 era, Xbox One era, they were not winning, but right now with Game Pass and stuff,
Well,
Xbox is knocking it out.
I think they realized that they needed to step up because of the fact that they lost the last console war. Like in
Sure.
PS4, Xbox One, I'm going PlayStation. I think with PlayStation and Xbox Series S, it's a little bit tougher because you're like, which one of these gaming systems is actually like giving me a fun experience? But I want to throw this out there. I had a
Yeah.
buddy who's had an Xbox for like the past 10 years. And he told me recently, I hung out with him yesterday, that he's bored with Xbox now. And
Hmm.
we went to a GameStop and he was like, dude, look at all these PlayStation games. And he was like, look at all these Switch games. And he
Yeah.
was getting so excited. And I was like, bro, that's cool that you're getting excited about, like, you've never seen these games before.
Right.
And I'm like living in the PS4 range right now. And I was thinking about getting an Xbox because of that. So it's just kind of cool how like we start to develop in our heads, like, well, you kind
Yeah.
of get bored of doing the same repetitive motion every single time. Like sometimes I do get tired of gaming like a little bit because I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like it's just very repetitive. Like, oh, I'm just sitting in front of my
Sure.
TV and I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna play? And then finding, but that's why I went back to Vice City because it was just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
nostalgic that I was like, maybe I need something from the past to kind of
Hmm.
bring me back into that zone where I'm just like, I'm having a fun time. I'm not necessarily thinking so much about like the time that I'm being, because that was my biggest thing, right? When I was a kid, I could put hours, like I could put 16 hours into a game in one day
Right. Right.
and have
Right.
no problem with it. I can't do that anymore because
No.
then I'm like, I wasted the whole day, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
There's this like layer of guilty cloud over me that's like, wow, I could have done literally anything else with those hours.
right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like that, I feel like that's one of the hard parts about like the balancing of being a gamer, you know, because it's like,
Hmm.
okay, now you have all these other things in life. And like, sure, you can say that if you want to become like the pro gamer, like a ninja or
Sure.
XQC, then I get it. You're going to be gaming all day. But it's just like that's not the case for most people. Most
No.
people, when they do games, they do it as a side hobby or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
they just
It's
do
a
to
leisure
relax.
activity. It's entertainment. It's like
Exactly.
watching a movie.
Leisure.
You spend a couple hours in there. And that's about it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
When they can.
Absolutely. It's just cool. But anyways, let me move on to our next story here. It says Mass Effect Legendary Edition, rebalancing, tuning, and mechanical improvements. So is it
This is
just
this is really
basically
quick.
like a new version of the game, or is this like the
So
newer one, or
we've talked about it before on the podcast, but Mass Effect Legendary Edition is basically just Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 getting a re-release and a remaster on new consoles and kind of streamlining them.
gotcha.
So the Mass Effect games are I've never played them, but they're all
Me
about you
neither.
make decisions in the first game and they carry over to the second game and they carry
Right.
over to the third game. And so they made a lot of changes from the third game, which is like the best controls, and they put those controls into the first game so that it plays like really seamlessly through all the games. And
Oh,
so
that's cool.
this article on PlayStation blog, if you're interested, we won't go through I mean, there's a million little tuning things, but they go through combat tuning, gameplay improvements, all the way from like character customization, so your character looks all the way the same through all the games, unifying the whole trilogy, the shooting mechanics, the cover mechanics, like everything is like all changed, and it looks so cool, dude. I've never played these. I can't wait to play them. This is a maybe 10 or 11 page article on the PlayStation blog that you can check out. I'll put
Yeah,
the
I'm
link.
looking at it right now. It's crazy.
I'll put the link in the video description on YouTube as well. If
It seems like they actually like want to make this, like you're saying, a very seamless experience
Yeah,
by the looks of it. Even the fact that in one of the weapons, like the assault, when you shoot it 4 or 5 times, the reticle starts to enlarge.
yeah,
So they're saying they're
some
improving
bloom.
even that. Like, oh, okay,
Yep.
now we want it to be more focused, so your shots stay focused. You don't have to like reload as
I
many
wonder
times. Right,
when the
cool.
first game came out, Mass Effect 1 release date, because I think there was such a big gap in between these. Okay, the first one came out in 2007, and then the third
Wow,
one came out in 2012. So there's a 5 year gap in between these games.
it's a
There's
lot.
so many improvements. They're just adding those improvements, 2021 improvements into all three of these games. So it's super cool. I cannot wait to play these in a couple months. Oh my god.
And they're even saying updated character creation options, more trophies integrated throughout the whole
Oh, you
trilogy,
know I'm into that.
integrated weapons and armor DLC packs that'll be included for free,
Mm-hmm.
additional gameplay, quality of life improvements, audio is being remixed. That sounds exciting, man. I
Yep.
think for a game like this is kind of what I'm talking about with PlayStation, where it's like, yes, give me a great trilogy like this that I can sink my teeth into,
Yeah.
like, or even like one of the best trilogies that has come out in the last couple of years was the BioShock trilogy. Like I
I,
bought
s-
that
I've
and I
never
was
played
like,
BioShock still, dude. I have the trilogy. I've never played it.
sad, bro. Like
I
that's
know.
the last one. What's it
Infinite.
called? BioShock Infinite is
Yeah.
probably one of the best games like to come out in the last 20 years.
Bro,
Just
crazy.
because of the story, dude. Like especially if you don't see it coming. Like if you've never played the game before,
Yeah.
by the time you get to that ending, you're just like, holy shit. Like how
Oh.
like you're just like what, like you get this rush of energy because you're just like
Hmm.
invested in the story. So and they do such a good job of just like wrapping it up. And I'm not gonna tell you anything
I
about it,
gotta
but
play
like
it.
you'd love it. And the first two games are equally as good in my opinion. First one is
Yeah.
a delight. The mechanics, in my opinion, are fun at first person, but you have all
Yeah.
these like powers that you
Abilities.
have, the abilities. It makes it a fun game. Like I would put that on your short list of games to play next, personally.
To the
But I'm
ASAP
not gonna
ones.
tell you what to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, I mean, that's really all I got for Mass Effect. I'm just
yeah. Me
excited for it.
too.
We got like it comes out next month, I believe.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and I think for a $60 price tag, you get 3 full games that are completely remastered. That's a pretty damn good price. I don't know.
Right. And,
And
and
they're
here's
just classic.
my tip. This is what I did when BioShock came out. It came out around this time for $60, and then I waited till Black Friday, and it was
Yep.
$30.
That's
thirty
exactly
dollars.
where I
That's
got it.
half off. So I'm like, let me just wait till then for this Mass Effect,
Sure.
because I bet you it's gonna be $30 or like 40. At least some form of drop when it comes to
Yep.
Black Friday. So
You're right. You're right.
let's be on the lookout for that. But anyways, guys, we got Apex Legends is going to be getting some Titanfall content in the next season. So it looks like that's just going to be Titanfall skins. It looks like it says Apex Legends will be adding a ton of Titanfall content in the next season. The two games already share a universe. Oh, I didn't know that. Although you wouldn't necessarily
Hmm.
be able to tell at the surface level. Yeah, makes sense. However, speaking during a recent panel, senior writer Ashley Reed noted that the games are still connected very closely. Wow. As reported by PC Gamer following Reed's comments, Apex Legends game director Chad Grenier chimed in, adding, next season, season 9, you're actually going to see a ton of Titanfall coming back into the game in one way or another. So I've told some people before, if you're a Titanfall fan, hang on for season 9.
Hang
Unfortunately,
on for season 9.
it sounds exciting. I'm like,
Hmm.
ooh, I wish I played Apex. Unfortunately, actual Titans will not be making an appearance, so we'll be seeing other characters. Perhaps at some point we'll have a lore lesson, or sorry, lore reason as to why Titans aren't around. After all, Apex Legends does take place after the big war shown in Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Okay, so I'm learning so many things about this game right now. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So Respawn is the developer of both games. They created both of these. That's why there's wall running, like all that kind of stuff. The movement's very similar. The guns are the same in both games. Yeah.
I
They're
guess I've
yeah.
only played Titanfall 2 like 3 times at a friend's house. And then so for you to tell me that Apex Legends is like in that world, I'm just like,
Yeah. Luigi, have you ever played Apex?
yeah, I played Apex. Like you don't
Okay.
have any fall damage.
It's pretty
You
great.
land on those little pods. It's a fun game, but it was one of those things where it was like the hype was either that or Fortnite, and I was just such a Fortnite
Luigi, you were
head.
too hard on the Fortnite train. That's what happened. You
Even
gotta spread the love.
I had friends that were like, "Hey, dude, we're not gonna play Fortnite. Like, I like Apex better," and I was like, "Well, we're not friends anymore." So
Oh my, you were really hard on that Fortnite train. God.
I'm
Oh
just
my.
kidding. But I definitely don't play with them, and that's
Right,
that's
right.
true. Like, I just
Fair
don't.
enough.
And then they hit me up and are like, "Let's play COD," and I'm like, I don't play COD." My buddy fell into the train. I talked to him yesterday. I'm same friend. I asked him. I was like, "Did you buy Cold War?" And he goes, "Yeah, I bought it. I haven't touched it in 2 months." I was like,
Yeah. I have like 80
60.
hours on that game, but I only play with friends. Only when they're playing. That's about it.
Ah,
All
I
right.
don't know, man.
Get ready for Titanfall 2 content, but do you know what you also should get ready for? If you have a
What's up?
PlayStation 5, Genshin Impact is getting an update this spring. This is a short little article. This is from Kit Guru. Though little is currently known about the update, MiHoYo has confirmed a new trailer that the free-to-play open-world action RPG Genshin Impact will be getting a native PS5 version later this spring. While rudimentary support for PS5 was already released, offering the game at 60 FPS instead of 30 on PS4, this new update will offer a native application showing the game to take advantage of many more of PS5's features, including enhanced visuals, fast loading, and DualSense controller support, which is super exciting because not enough games have DualSense controller support right now.
Right.
Since its launch in September 2020, Genshin has gone on to become a massive entry in the free-to-play market, bringing in over $1 billion off of mobile alone, not even console
Whoa.
or PC, With the upcoming PS5 release, it is likely that Genshin will only continue to grow further, reintroducing the game in many ways as it both old and new fans alike. It will be interesting to see exactly what changes and enhancements are added on the PS5. Super cool. I pretty much completely fallen off Genshin, but once I have a big content drop, I'll jump back in there and play the content. It's pretty sweet. For a free-to-play game, it's awesome. It might be the best free-to-play game I've ever played. Maybe.
Whoa. That's a big statement right there.
It's
I still
close.
have to check out Genshin Impact. It's downloaded on my PS4, but I've never actually gone in there and played it.
Dude, it's great. It's literally Breath of the Wild, but with anime girls. Okay, I mean it doesn't get better than that.
I mean, I guess it doesn't.
You gotta jump. You gotta jump in.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I'm thinking about it in the sense of like, I just have to find the time because I feel like I'm one of those people when I start a game, I want to invest a couple of hours into it, like at least 10
Yeah.
to like really sink my teeth into it. And I just haven't had the time.
You
But
can
maybe
split this one up pretty nice. Like you could play the intro, take a break for a while, come back. It's not like super demanding, which is nice.
Well, I was gonna tell you, I was like, can I still play with you even though you've already like advanced so many levels?
Actually, yeah, but I'm on PS5, so or no, I'm on PC and we can still play because it's crossplay. I forgot about that, so it's good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you know. And anybody who's listening, if you guys want to jump in on
Let's
that,
do
we'll
it.
send a message out on the Discord chat.
Oh,
Genshin Impact night. Yeah, exactly. Everybody show up with their anime girl characters.
Let's go. I got a lot of them. I got a lot
Never-
of them ready to show
ne-
off.
Never thought I'd say that in my life, but you know what? New things for everything.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of new, Apple adds more games to its monthly arcade membership. We have about more than 30 games here joining the roster of Apple Arcade, making their total to come out to about 180 outstanding games for the $5 a month membership plan.
It's not
I
bad.
actually have Apple Arcade right now because they gave me 3 months for free because I got a new phone.
Yeah.
And there's a couple games on there that I like downloaded because I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'll play this. But I actually have been playing that new like Temple Run Crash. I don't know if you've heard about the new
I
Crash
haven't even
game.
seen it.
So they came out with a new Crash Bandicoot game, and it's literally like Temple Run, and it's called Crash on the
Really?
Run. Yeah, it's called Crash on the Run.
Whoa. Okay.
And my smart guy vibes, you know how I do,
Oh yeah.
created a team, right? Because they obviously have these little like groups that you can create, and I named mine Champions League, and all these people just started joining because they were like, I want to be a part of Champions League. And
Nice.
so like I don't even have to play sometimes, and these people over here are like stacking like 8,000,
Getting
9,000
gems and all this
trophies.
stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
and then like we're like number 3 right now in the world, my league.
What?
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
I was like super devoted to like because they give you skins after like every season. So I was
Okay.
just like I like started it and they had like a 3-day launch skin and I was like, come on guys, like let's try to get it. It was like a little chicken Crash outfit.
Yeah.
And then once we got it, I started using that to motivate the rest of the people. I was like, did you guys like the little chicken skin you got? Well, you're gonna like this new skin. Like, let's go, team.
God, Luigi's leading a movement here. This is
And then it just
big.
started building up, like, and then I started telling people, like, look, end of day, if you don't have at least 100 trophies, you're out of the league. If
You
don't
gave
have
him
500
ultimatums?
I started telling people, like, yo, 500 limit, like, let's go, let's move. Like right
Oh
now,
my God.
we're at like 56,000 trophies between 30 people,
Mhm.
and it's not easy to get trophies. And like, you got to play a lot. But
Sure.
there's like the highest team is like 118,000.
This
And
is
then
awesome.
It's crazy because I think we might get second place if we step up a little bit towards the end. Because I think second place is only like 63,000 right
Yeah.
now, so we could potentially become.
You can
second.
overtake it. You should just send out an ultimatum right now after the show. Just say, hey guys, we're getting second place today. Like, let's get out
Everybody,
there.
At
Let's
least
go.
1,000. Like, yeah,
That's
it
so
was
cool.
crazy because it's like there's people on there who literally like within the first 2 games of the new season coming out, they were already at like 7,000, and I'm just like, dude, I'm only at like 1,500. Like, how are you playing so much that you're already at
Yeah.
7,000? Like, and then there was just like a bunch of people at 0, so I was just like, kick, like
Yep.
kick all these people
Done.
out.
Get the people that
I
are
need-
actually producing.
I need some gamers. I
Be
need people who are playing
producers,
this game
bro.
every day. Come and get your daily gift. Like, I need that. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Uh,
But anyways, I just wanted to highlight some of these games that are coming to Apple. We got NBA 2K21 Arcade Edition is coming. It's gonna be free. A game called Simon's Cat. It's a little story time, like a little tactile. You know, like you move by
Yeah, yeah.
square. Looks a little fun, like a garden explorer.
Have
A
you tried
Star Trek-
Sayonara Wild Hearts on Apple Arcade
No.
yet? Highly recommend it. That one won some awards. I haven't played it yet, but it is a mobile game on Apple Arcade and
Sayonara
Wild
What?
Hearts.
Wild Heart. Okay,
It's like a
yeah.
rhythm game. It looks pretty
Oh.
cool. It looks really cool.
That sounds fun. Next up, I have Star Trek Legends. Obviously, just a Star Trek. You know, you were one of the people in the ship. You're kind of running. It's like an RPG game. The Oregon Trail. That one looks kind of fun.
Oh,
It's
I
like a
love
little
Oregon Trail.
country. Cut the Rope remastered. Everybody loves Cut the Rope. Everybody knows Cut the Rope. If you don't
Oh
know
yeah,
Cut the Rope, come on.
I mean, that was the glory days of iOS gaming.
Yeah, seriously, that was like back when Angry Birds was like
Yep.
barely coming out before they made like
Doodle
12,000
Jump,
games.
the whole
Doodle
dealio.
Jump,
Oh yeah, Flappy
bro.
Birds.
Flappy Bird, bro. That's like nostalgia right there.
When Clash was in its peak. Sorry. Yeah, keep going.
I know. The rest of them are pretty simple. So like Tiny Crossword, Backgammon, Sudoku, Simple Chess.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just some basics. It's not nothing.
That's cool though. I mean, Apple Arcade has a good offering. There's no way I'm paying $5 a month to play games. I don't even play games on my phone that often. So it's like
I'm out after the 3 months.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
only
yeah.
here for the 3 months. After that,
Totally.
I'm not gonna pay for this. Like,
Mhm.
I'd much rather spend another $5 and then just do PlayStation Now. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it,
Right.
you know. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight some of those games because I mean they're adding 50 new games that are coming within the
Sure.
next. I think they said on Friday that they're gonna start joining. Nothing crazy there, but yeah, let me jump into this next one because I
Yeah.
think this is more interesting than what I
Last
just talked
one.
about.
Last one.
Yeah, wow. Have we really been rolling through this that fast?
Yeah, dude, we're flying. This is good.
This is great. No, I've really enjoyed this episode. Today we actually had Atari announce that they have created two divisions: Atari Gaming. Everybody knows Atari, right?
That's right.
Atari Gaming and Atari Blockchain, which is really interesting to me. So let me read this to you. It says Atari announced the creation of two divisions, right? And a change in leadership. It says Atari Gaming will operate games, the Atari VCS, and licensing. Atari Blockchain will operate the Atari token and explore new opportunities in blockchain, NFTs, and online worlds. Effective April 6, 2021, Wei J. Rawson will become Chief Executive Officer of the Atari Group. Frederick Chesnays to focus on Atari Blockchain and licensing. So here's what I want to pose this question to you.
Hit me.
Do you think, I understand Atari's kind of like it was kind of a dead company per se, right? It's not necessarily like peaking anymore. I think they came out with their little like Atari Mini a couple years ago, and nobody really bought that. It was like an Atari flashback.
Yep.
And I think that moving to blockchain is smart, but I don't know if it's like a video game company doing blockchain and going into tokens is smart.
I'll tell you what this says to me, Luigi. This is telling me that Atari's out of ideas, and they're like, "Oh, let's give this a shot. Let's just try it." I guarantee this is the last time we talk about Atari blockchain on here. That's what I'm. Unless it absolutely blows up, like I can't imagine anybody talking about this unless it's super successful. So I have no idea. What is Atari Gaming doing right now? I don't know. Has Atari released anything or done anything in the last 10 years?
No.
I don't know. Atari Blockchain? Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Well, my thing is this almost feels like, you know, when a video game company will launch like a magazine, it just feels like that. Yes. Where they're like, guys, we need things to bring back our audience, you know, guys, blockchain. Okay. You know, like somebody in a meeting just threw out blockchain and NFTs. Yeah. I feel like these days it's just like people are so focused on the NFT conversation that they're just like, NFTs, guys, everybody, NFT. Yeah. We'll build an Atari token and that's like what we'll use as virtual currency. And it's just like, bro, everybody's done virtual currency. Like virtual currency is not new.
You bring up NFT and you automatically, like, everybody thinks your IQ goes up like 200 points. So it's like, that's just what I got to start doing in every conversation. Like, oh, so on my latest NFT drop, like, oh, NFTs. Whoa, really?
Did you say NFT?
Like
wow. Everybody perks up. Like, it's.
And then everybody pretends to know what an NFT is when someone starts talking about an NFT, and that's just when it gets wild. I couldn't even fully explain it, but it's a non-fungible token. This is not an NFT podcast. We're moving on.
Right. Moving on.
To random fun stuff. I still want to get a jingle for random fun stuff very badly. But here's what we got. Number 1. Star Wars Republic Commando gets ported and remastered on PlayStation and Switch. I cannot wait to play this. It's $15, and I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and play it since I've never played it before.
Nice. I like that. I have here, we have big news. It just dropped yesterday on Nintendo Switch. Pac-Man 1 vs. 99 Battle Royale. Very exciting. They have had Tetris 1 vs. 99 for a little while, and that game is fun. And I don't know why they never thought about doing Pac-Man earlier. You know,
it could be
I
cool.
think you said it best before this podcast started. Mario needed to die for Pac-Man to live. And I think that's what Nintendo thought. Nintendo was like, yep, that's it. Pac-Man time.
We need to kill Mario.
The year of the Pac-Man.
That's 100%. I agree. I can't wait to play this, actually, just to try it out.
Dude, same. It's free if you have online. So it's like, check it out. If you have a Switch, like.
Yep. I'll actually download it after this. Get it done. So in Game Pass this April, we got a whole slew of new games coming if you subscribe. Now, some of
Okay.
these are coming to PC, some of these are coming to console. Most of them are coming to both, but I don't know. Some of them are kind of sketch. But we got GTA 5, which is today, launches on Game Pass, so you're ready to play if you're listening to this on April 9th.
Let's go.
Zombie Army 4, Dead War, Disneyland Adventures, Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure. I have no idea what that is. NHL
Right.
21, Rain on Your Parade, Pathway, and MLB The Show 2021, which we talked about. So a lot of big games, a lot of AAA games here too, as well as some indie games. Good
Right.
offering.
The Disney ones are definitely random, but they gotta touch all markets. They gotta
Oh yeah.
advertise to kids just as much as they advertise to adults with Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yep.
That's it. That's all we got today.
That's a wrap on episode 59. Luigi, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome. I felt really like we got into a real fun conversation there, just goofing around and talking about all this stuff. It was a good time.
I can't wait to hear updates on how the Crash Bandicoot Temple Run game is going when the Champions League is in first place next week. Okay, that's gonna be incredible.
I'll let you know. Hopefully we make the move to second, man. I honestly like that is like my favorite game right now for some reason. And they really built out like a whole like adventure mode. Like you're on the island and they have all these little things you have to do and like
I
you're
love
constantly having to collect stuff. But the temple run thing, like they have a story mode that you follow. It's addictive. It's extremely
straight
addictive.
up.
But
well, Luigi, thank you so much. Chat. We will be right back for the post show. If you're listening on audio platforms, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop a comment. It just helps us out quite a bit. I appreciate all you guys for watching and supporting every week. Next week is episode 60. Crazy, the next milestone. And awesome. I hope you guys all have an incredible week. We will see you next time. Peace out.
See you guys later. Shouts out to PlayStation.